PICARD v. BARRY Pontiac Buick, Inc. is a 1995 Rhode Island Supreme Court case often cited in tort law textbooks to explain the legal concept of battery. Let's talk about the procedural history of the case to show us how we got here in the first place. At trial court, the plaintiff prevailed and was awarded $60,366 in compensatory damages and an additional $6,350 in punitive damages. The defendant appealed on 3 issues. 1. Claimed plaintiff failed to prove assault. 2. Claimed plaintiff failed to prove battery. And 3. The damages were excessive as a matter of law. Here are the facts of the case. The plaintiff took her mother's car to a dealer, BARRY Pontiac, for inspection. The dealer failed the inspection because he claimed brakes needed replacing. The plaintiff then took the car to another inspection station, a repair shop, where it passed inspection. Conflicts culminated when the plaintiff returned to the repair shop with the automobile, along with representatives of the dealer, for the car to be re-inspected. During the re-inspection, the plaintiff took a picture, with her camera, of one of the employees of the dealer, who is also a defendant. At which point, the employee pointed at the plaintiff's camera and angrily said, "Who gave you permission to take my picture?" The employee walked around the car towards the plaintiff, repeating the question. The plaintiff claimed the defendant lunged at her and turned her around. The defendant denied the claims, conceding that he touched the camera with his index finger. The plaintiff and her doctor claimed permanent damage to her back as a consequence of the altercation. The case landed in the Supreme Court of Rhode Island, and here are the legal issues the court needed to decide. 1. Did the defendant's action constitute an assault? 2. Did the defendant's action constitute a battery? And 3. Were the damages awarded at trial excessive as a matter of law? Here is the rule. An assault is a physical act of a threatening nature or an offer of corporal injury which puts an individual in reasonable fear of imminent bodily harm. Here are some policy notes the court considered when deciding the case. First, intent to injure is unnecessary when a person willfully sets in motion a force that in its ordinary course causes the injury. And second, items grasped by the hand or in some way an extension of one's body are construed statutorily as part of the person. So, what did the court hold? Here is the holding of the case one by one of the issues. First, yes, the defendant's actions did constitute an assault. Plaintiff has established a prima facie case of assault. The reasoning behind the court ruling for an assault is because it is a plaintiff's apprehension of injury which renders a defendant's action compensable. This apprehension must be the type of fear normally aroused in the mind of a reasonable person. The plaintiff testified that she was frightened, and a review of the circumstances attests that such a reaction was reasonable. For the second issue, the answer is yes. The defendant's offensive conduct with an object attached to or identified with plaintiff's body was sufficient to constitute a battery. Battery is an intent to injure plaintiff is unnecessary in a situation in which a defendant willfully sets in motion a force that in its ordinary course causes the injury. The court references the Second Torts Restatement Section 18, comment C at 31, and says, anything directly grasped by the hand which is so intimately connected with one's body is to be universally regarded as part of the person. The court found defendant's touching of the plaintiff's camera as sufficient to prove battery. And for the third and final issue, the court held that yes, the compensatory damages were excessive, and that punitive damages could not stand because there was no proof of malice or bad faith. The court reasoned that the medical evidence did not support the amount of compensatory damages. In addition, the punitive damage award could not stand because there was no proof of malice or bad faith. Thus, in conclusion, the Supreme Court of Rhode Island affirmed the judgment of the Superior Court in respect to defendants' commission of assault and battery, but they vacated the awards of compensatory and punitive damages. The case is remanded to the Superior Court for a new trial on the damages sustained by the plaintiff.